Saurabh, Sabyasachi, we are in the, what do they call, business end of the league stage of the IPL. But there are bigger things happening. We know
Yes.
that 3 teams have qualified for the playoffs: KKR, Rajasthan, and KKR, Rajasthan, and
And
Sunrisers, who became the
yes,
third team. Rain is helping a couple of teams there, not helping Delhi Capitals or Lucknow. And the big virtual knockout on Saturday between the Super Kings and the Royal Challengers. That aside, there is something big brewing up, right?
yeah,
The T20 World Cup is on. Rahul Dravid will be coaching the Indian team in the T20 World Cup. And that probably will be his last assignment as the coach. He took over in 2021, if I'm not wrong, right? 2021 end.
yes.
Mm.
T20 World Cup.
Against New Zealand in the home
Yes.
series. And he has had his ups and downs. And his contract will come to an end in June, right? And the BCCI, unlike last time, they have called for applications before the end of the tenure of the current head coach. And that has created a lot of hype, Head coach of the Indian cricket team. After the captain, I think it's one of the most, lucrative posts. It comes with its own advantages and disadvantages. But Saurabh, there are rumors that foreign coaches, even Jayasha, the board secretary, confirmed that we won't, as in we are not looking into, we will be looking into foreign coaches, as in it's not like we'll be ruling out foreign coaches. It's something that he said when meeting the press last week. Going back to foreign coaches, is that a good thing? What do you think?
You know what? I think over the past 10, 12 years, last time when we won an ICC tournament, we had a foreign coach, Duncan
Yeah.
Fisher.
Yeah.
So maybe BCCI is looking
Oh.
at this alternative that we're doing everything right. Maybe this is that one piece in that jigsaw puzzle which is missing. So let's put in a foreign coach,
Yeah.
and then we might win the T20 World Cup or the ODI World Cup or the Champions Trophy, ICC tournament
Yeah.
for the. But I still believe that this foreign coach thing, it's a very good thing for teams when you have a lot of young players, but when you have a lot of superstars, like we have Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, there are a lot of egos in the team.
Yeah.
And especially how we have seen this team has performed under 2 Indian coaches, former Indian cricketers, Ravi Shastri and Rahul Dravid.
Yeah.
I believe they should go for an Indian coach. But there's a lot of hype about Stephen Fleming,
Yeah.
Ricky Ponting, I think, Justin Langer also.
Of course.
And all these coaches, they are currently
Tom
in India.
Moody. Tom Moody.
Tom
also.
Moody.
Yeah.
Tom Moody is in India for the
IPL commitments.
IPL commitments.
Yeah.
The other, all these other 3 former captains of their respective teams, they are coaching some other franchisee. And Fleming has been the most hyped one.
Yeah. The
Because of
front
his-
runner to be
yeah.
front runner according to the media.
Yeah. There are many reports saying that BCCI want Fleming to take over
Yeah.
because of his phenomenal record with CSK.
Yeah.
5 trophies and everything that he has done has turned out to be good for CSK.
Yeah.
So let's see how it. What do you think, Sabya?
Sabya's 2 favorite teams. Bangladesh has a foreign coach,
Oh yes.
Chandika Adrasinghe, and Pakistan. Pakistan recently appointed Gary Kirsten,
Former World Cup winning coach.
who was in charge of that 2011 World Cup winning team. Sabya, then your inclination might be towards having a foreign coach, right?
See, as Saurabh mentioned earlier, that India won an ICC trophy last when they had a foreign coach.
Yeah.
Plus, their
Their last 2 ICC trophies.
yes.
2011.
Let's not recall what happened with Greg Chappell, as you said that there was ego clashes and all. So definitely, I believe that if Rahul Dravid doesn't help India win this time, they can take the gamble of going back to a foreign coach. Because at the end of the day, be it a foreign coach or be it an Indian coach, it's all about how you gel up with the players, how you maintain that bonding with the players and take the team together instead of just trying to force yourself upon all the players. That's exactly when things are going to get a little haywire and all.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe that it's if they're looking for a foreign coach, it's not a bad idea, definitely.
Saurabh, you were saying that if there are a lot of youngsters, then maybe having a foreign coach is good. But I do have my reservations about that concept that you brought about.
Okay.
Because in a country, in an English-speaking country, I think a foreign coach wouldn't be of big trouble. But if you look at the demographic of Indian cricket over the last 10 years, or since the time MS broke into the scene, there have been a lot of players from these small towns who are coming in.
Yeah.
Right. So the communication, for instance, we have all seen. I am just observing something. Mustafizur, who's not very comfortable with English, as we have seen in the last few seasons.
Yes.
He kind of did well at CSK.
Yeah.
Is that because of Mahi knowing a bit of Bengali in that very famous interview?
Yeah, I mean,
he kind of says, they kind of realized, Bangladesh players kind of realized, Arey, isko Bengali bujhte parbe, something like that he said, right? So I think should that comfort level be given to the young players? Like, if you look at the next crop of this team is going to go through a transition phase also. So that coach coming in should have an idea of what these kids are doing and how to communicate with these kids. So that I think might be a hindrance when you hire a foreign coach at this stage, especially when we don't know how long Rohit Sharma is going to continue.
Yeah.
We don't know how long Virat is going to continue. So even in the BCCI advertisement that they released, they clearly said that this tenure will be for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Till the 2027 World Cup. Then end of December 2027 is what they have advertised for. But it might vary, depend on
performance of the teams.
Yeah, they might initially set a 1 year period. That's where I think maybe having an Indian coach this time will not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Why not Ashish Nehra?
Ashish Nehra, for that matter, Gautam Gambhir.
Gautam Gambhir is an interesting name that has cropped up.
You know why?
Right?
Because that man has an aura.
Yeah.
See, he was with LSG for last 2 seasons, and look where LSG were.
Yeah.
Now he has left LSG.
Yeah.
And where they are. Okay. Then he goes to KKR who were down and out last season.
Yeah. Confusion was there. Confusion and KKR were synonymous.
And not a lot of changes were made. Yeah. A couple of replacements were done. Jason Roy was pulled out on the last moment, and Phil Salt was roped in. And how he used Phil Salt, how he has used Sunil Narayan. People have come out and said before this IPL, people will come, why are KKR retaining Ande Russell and Narayan?
Exactly.
But Gautam Gambhir coming in, how he has used those players.
Yeah.
And this KKR team has become the first team to reach the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they are looking...
And they're playing like champions.
And they're looking one of the favorites to win a title.
Yeah.
And then they have a young captain, Shreyas Iyer.
Yes.
So
why not the youngsters are also performing well.
Because, I was reading an article which said that BCCI wants a foreign coach because the problem with Indian team is not of talent or skills. It is about the mentality. They lose the finals, the big finals and the semi-finals because there is a mental block.
Yeah. And now, who better?
So they were saying that the foreign coaches from Australia or, for example, Fleming, they know how to deal with these pressure. But why not Indian coaches?
Yeah.
Nehra has won a title.
I'm just telling you, who better than mentality when you talk about... You might have your own opinions about Gautam Gambhir and all that, but there is only one way of looking at his champions mentality, winning mentality. 2007 T20 World Cup, absolutely bossed it. 2011 World Cup, that knock should be one of the greatest knocks in Indian cricket history.
I still get goosebumps when
You were 37 for 2, I think, after losing Sehwag and Sachin. And it all looked like Sri Lanka would just put more pressure on India, but Gambhir played that phenomenal knock. And look at the way he has led KKR over the years, and he has coached teams over the years. And I think if you want that winning mentality, like you're saying, that over the last 10-12 years, India have lacked that decisiveness in the knockout stages.
Yes.
I think Gambhir might be the right fit. What do you think, Sabya?
See, the best part about Gambhir is he's bold. He's outspoken. He's not diplomatic.
But will that work in a dressing room which has Virat and Kohli? Virat and Rohit.
But Gambhir, for all he knows how to manage players, how to manage experienced players, how to manage young players. He has a different set of principles for everyone.
Exactly.
Because we have seen there are a lot of stuff coming out that he and Kohli are not on talking terms. He has a problem with MS Dhoni. But he has come out and boldly said, I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
He has went and hugged all these superstars.
Maybe, is that what a sign? Because was he
it's
talking about the coaching job?
Also, Gambhir is someone who can identify talents. If you remember in the 2011, Sunil Narayan was no one. He played a couple of games for Trinidad and Tobago, played well against CSK.
Yeah.
Then before the auction, he was asked that, who is this Sunil Narayan? And Gambhir had said that when he plays, you will get to know. And now we all know what Sunil Narayan is.
Yeah.
So he has that eye for the talent. He has an eye of an hawk. So definitely, he, apart from coaching the Indian team, he can definitely pick players from the domestic side and make them superstars. So that is what Gambhir is all about.
You know what? India were lucky to have an MS Dhoni. And that's why Gautam Gambhir did not get any chance to lead India
Yeah.
in a big tournament.
Yeah. Like Shane Warne, like they say of Shane Warne.
Yes, like
Yes,
this.
The
about-
captain.
Because Gautam Gambhir, for me, was the greatest Indian captain who never captained India.
Yeah.
So if you have that kind of a guy
Mm.
in your
Yeah.
arsenal, why not use him as the head coach now?
But will a player like Gambhir, will a person like Gambhir, who is making his money from IPL, who is sorted right now, right? He was in the politics, but he did not get the term for second term, but he is sorted at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Will he kind of say okay to this job, which entails a lot of pressure and criticism?
Yeah, that is a big ask from him.
Yeah.
But Gautam Gambhir has, every time he has come out in public and said, for me, country is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does not do anything for money. He has always said, because when he was asked, you do so many, you have so many commitments with IPL and other broadcasters. He said, I do this because I run free food for a lot of poor people in Delhi.
Yeah.
Other than that, he has always come out and said that country comes first for me. So if Gautam Gambhir says that,
Yeah.
I think BCCI should approach him. And who knows, maybe last time when he was playing, we won the World Cup. Maybe next time when he coaches India, we win the World Cup, a Champions Trophy for that matter in Pakistan also. You never know.
Yeah.
And we need, I personally believe, I have nothing against the foreign coaches, but I don't like the idea of foreign coaches in Indian cricket. You are such a great cricketing nation.
Yeah.
You've got so many good.
And there's no dearth of coaching talent also, right?
You have seen they have proved themselves in IPL. You pick players on the basis of IPL performance. Why not the coaches? Maybe Gambhir mentors KKR to another title win. So 2 times KKR win a title under his captaincy. 3rd time when he comes back as a mentor, they win. What more does he have to do?
There is no doubting his credentials as
Yeah,
a
I'm asking
coach.
BCCI.
Yeah. Of course.
And one thing that comes with coaching a team like India or any subcontinent team is that eyes are always on you. Even if you win 2 to 3 series and you end up losing one, people will start questioning your tactics. See, a country like New Zealand, where Gary Stead is the head coach, they have been winning and losing series.
Yeah.
But people don't make a whole lot of fuss about that because they know how Stead is.
Yeah.
But here in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, if you lose 1 or 2 series, then people start questioning you.
Yeah.
They start abusing you on the social media, and also apart from your skills, it comes with a lot of other challenges being
of
the
course.
coach of the Indian team. So
Of course. You have to be a little thick-skinned as well, I think,
Yes.
right? And Gary Kirsten, you have to give it to him. As in, like, whatever you say, coaching Pakistan is not an easy job. Like, what is happening? The board keeps changing, the board members keeps changing, and people have their own whims and fancies. One day you see Shaheen is the captain, the other day Babar is the captain. But to, agree to all this and, take up that job, it's going to be challenging. Let's see how he does. But that brings me to this question, Saurabh. We are kind of divided on whether we need to have a foreign coach or an Indian coach, right?
Yeah.
Foreign coach has its own sets of advantages,
Perks,
pros
yeah.
and cons.
Yeah.
And an Indian coach, of course, we discussed all that. Is it time for India to go for split coaching? Like how many teams, England have done it, Pakistan have done it. Is it time? Because we all have seen like Ravi Shastri. I'm not doubting his credentials as a man manager. But we saw some issues with the white ball aspects of the team. There was instability. There was a lot of, there was confusion when it came to team selection, identification of players. We went to the 2019 with the World Cup without a number 4, right? And when you look at Dravid, I think you all remember, like 1.5 years ago, we were all discussing whether we need a new T20 coach.
Absolutely.
Right? Because the performances were not that great. Yes, we reached the semi-final in the T20 World Cup in 2022, but again, a 10-wicket defeat in the semi-final for a team like India, it doesn't speak well, right?
Right.
Time to have a split coach, coaches for a separate coach for each format.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You saw how England have done. So they have Brandon McCullum as their test head coach, and they have Matthew Match as their white ball coach. They won a T20 World Cup under Matthew Mott. They were not very good in the ODI World Cup, very poor, defending champions. But then you see how he transformed the team.
Yeah.
He had, and there are different captains also.
Yes.
So they have Ben Stokes and Jose Butler.
Yeah.
And with India also, how long do you see Rohit Sharma leading the team?
Exactly. And when you come to this next generation of cricketers,
I don't see a player, I have to be very frank, I don't see one player who is going to play all formats and lead the Indian team.
Yeah.
You will have to have different captains for different formats.
Only if you go back to Virat after Rohit, then...
Maybe you have a similar one captain for white ball, ODI and T20, and one captain for test.
Yeah. If you're going to have Hardik Pandya as your white ball captain, then there is
Definitely
no
you need-
chance of
definitely
having
you
him
need
as
test captain. In that
Yeah.
case, why not have a different coach?
Hmm.
You can try it. Why not
Yes,
try it?
definitely.
Because T20, ODI, and Test, they are 3 different formats.
Yes, and the gap
completely
is, I
different.
think,
Completely
increasing
different.
now.
Yes, absolutely. Because you see in a T20 game in IPL how we have seen 140 runs getting scored in the first 6 overs.
Yes,
300 looks a very par score now. 250, 200, 300.
200 is a par score now.
In a test match, if in a day you score a 300,
Yeah.
a very good day for any team.
Yeah.
So you see the difference.
Hmm.
20 overs and the whole day 90 overs play.
Yeah.
So you need to have different, because test cricket demands more patience, more
Yeah.
perseverance, more mentality, charisma. And in T20s, you need to be quick with your decisions. You need to, because a lot of, I've seen games where you lost 5 wickets,
Yeah.
but the 6 batsman coming at number 8 can change the whole game. He can play 40 balls, score 100. Okay,
Yeah.
you won the match. So you need, if you ask me, definitely you should look at that aspect of the game. But I don't think BCCI is looking at that. They have clearly said they want one head coach.
Yes,
Oh.
and for having 2 head coaches, you need to have a separate captain for white ball and red ball. Because if you see England, they have Butler and Matthew Mott going along well, and they have Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum.
Yeah.
Now, if one captain plays under 2 coach,
Yeah, I think it'll be difficult for both parties.
difficult for
Yes,
both parties.
definitely.
Yes,
But I think that is what Saurabh we were discussing, right? We are heading towards a phase
Yeah.
where we might not have the same captaining all 3 formats.
Because you name me one good batsman, because normally batters lead a team,
Yes.
or a bowler also, who is fit enough to play every game. Apart from Bumrah, I don't see any player.
Yeah.
After Virat and Rohit.
Yeah.
So-
Jadeja, if you look at Jadeja, he's not
You know,
in the
as a
early
lead-
wrong side of his 30s.
Yes.
And as a leader also, he has not been
Yeah,
able
of
to
course.
do a lot when he got a
Of
chance
course.
as CSK.
Shreyas Iyer,
captain.
you might have spoken about him, but then he has fallen behind in the pecking order.
yes.
He might play
Shubman-
test matches and ODIs, but T20s he will not play.
Yeah, Shubman, I think at this stage it's more pressure on him. Like we all saw what happened in Gujarat Titans. But
Do not overburden him with that.
Yeah.
Because
Let's-
Virat Kohli was 1 leagues ahead.
Yeah.
Everybody can't be Virat
He was
Kohli.
also mentored. He was the vice captain to MS for so long, right?
When MS Dhoni is your
He's
vice,
picking someone.
is your guider, he guides you.
Yeah.
It's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
And he was properly prepared. Like Dhoni prepared Rituraj also. He had told him earlier that
Yeah.
you are going to be the captain.
Yeah.
This is how you prepare your successors.
Exactly.
In Indian cricket, I don't see who is there.
Especially these days, right?
Because you have
like-
too many captains and vice
Yeah.
captains. Every now and then you change a vice captain, you change a captain.
Yeah. I think and that started in Rahul Dravid's tenure only.
Yes.
Yes.
Not before anyone.
Yeah, because earlier we had Ravi
Virat.
Shastri, Virat Kohli
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
And Rohit Sharma was your vice captain.
Yeah.
Across formats. I think in Test we have Ajinkya Rahane. And in ODIs and T20s you had Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
And now with Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid at the helm of affairs, a lot of things have changed. But
What, as in, like, I'm wondering, can Gambhir be the Mourinho of Indian cricket? Like, take all the, go to the press conference, front yourself, take all the attention away from the team.
Gambhir is more of a Pep Guardiola for me.
Okay.
Because, Gautam Gambhir and Pep Guardiola, they have that winning mentality. Even Mourinho has this.
Yeah.
But Mourinho has now...
No, in terms of, speaking
Take-
outlandishly in the pressers, taking criticism
that
away from the team.
He can do that. He can
Yeah.
do that. He's pretty much capable of doing that. But as KKR mentor, I have never seen him do that.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's doing his job silently. He's sitting in the dugout
Yeah.
and he knows he has prepared a plan and the boys are following it.
Patch up with Kohli and the chat with Rohit, all that, we didn't expect that coming from Gambhir.
Yeah,
this
and
season.
now, Indian cricket, and all together, it's a fast changing landscape.
Yeah.
You never know what will happen.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I want a Gautam Gambhir as my head coach, as India head coach.
Perfect.
If you don't win even if you win a T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Rahul Dravid will agree to an extension now.
I think even that extension after the World Cup, I think he had to have some fruitful discussions with the BCCI. I think
Yes.
that was a statement from the BCCI, right? But sort of, Sabya, we have also seen the other side of this. Super Kings fans, Knight Riders fans expressing their disappointment, saying, "Oh, we can't let Fleming go."
Oh,
Is that the way of looking at it? Like, from a country like Bangladesh where there are passionate fans, I think Sabya can explain that better. Sabya, would you want a successful IPL coach to quit and then go to national team? As far as I am concerned, that's a given. If a national team wants it, I think they should go there, right? But
See-
can the franchises have their say in this now?
See, when it's about national duty,
Yeah.
then I think it's pretty straight cut that players
But
should.
Fleming is not going to New Zealand. Fleming is going to India. Can he be stopped from going there?
See, it's complete. It will completely be his choice,
Yeah.
and how his equations with MS Dhoni are. So definitely, he will have a talk with MS Dhoni and the CSK management before taking a call on this. And it's a big step because MS Dhoni recently has stepped away from captaincy. And now if Fleming goes, it will be a completely different CSK setup.
Yeah.
And so whether CSK are ready to go through too many changes in a short time, that remains to be seen. But again, at the end of the day, if MS Dhoni and the CSK management, if Srinivasan, everyone agrees to it, then I believe that Fleming should apply for the coaching role. And if he doesn't have any kind of contract with the team that he cannot leave for 2 to 3 years and all.
Yeah.
You know what?
So I still remember you shared that tweet with me.
Yeah.
And then you were furious.
Yeah.
I said, what did they say? CSK is bigger than Team India. So we don't want Fleming going.
You know, this nonsense.
This IPL
This
fandom,
IPL fandom is
fanatism, not fandom.
Yeah, fanatism is the most toxic thing I've ever seen. Why? You know, you are a Virat Kohli fan who says that he's a Virat Kohli fan. He is abusing Rohit Sharma. A Rohit Sharma fan is abusing MS Dhoni. Because your teams are different.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. And then when you talk about these reports, when these reports came that Stephen Fleming I saw a lot of, I shared tweets with you. It was horrific to see that because Chennai Super Kings at the end of the day are an Indian team.
Yeah.
They are a part of Indian national. And then why can't Stephen Fleming leave Chennai to help India win a nice title? Why?
Exactly.
How is Chennai more important than, how is the IPL franchisee more important than Indian cricket when IPL was designed to serve Indian cricket?
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah. But that is how the fandom, the craziness has taken over.
These young guys, I'm telling you, all these influencers, social media guys, all these people, these are not cricket fans.
Yeah.
They are crazy people, they are toxic people. And they do all these things for likes and retweets. Their whole life is based on this.
When you especially see such tweets, you can't fathom someone saying, okay, CSK is bigger than India, right? Because that clearly tells that it's done for attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, that is not the view of the person who tweeted or who shared that.
And I have never seen a franchisee come out and say this.
Yeah.
When a Sunil Chhetri retired, Indian national football team captain, a legend of Indian football, an icon, every Indian franchisee came out in public, cricket, football, whatever franchises came out in public, and they paid their tributes, their respects. Virat Kohli paid his tribute. So there is a mutual respect.
Yeah.
This is not, and all this toxicity is all down to those social media or keyboard warriors who believe that they know more than anyone else.
And more importantly, I think it's just for attention. Like, I think a few social media platforms have started paying if you get more attention. So probably we should have a fake ID and give us some outlandish opinions.
I saw a KKR fan page saying, convince Sunil Narayan to play for India and replace that fraud Rohit Sharma. So this is the level of fandom which we have. Shameless people, all shameless people. They have no shame. And then, when we talk about Indian and national duties, I have one more question. How can Sunil Gavaskar and Irfan Pathan question English cricketers for leaving IPL for their national duties? How is that right? Because for them, England cricket is the foremost thing. For any person, their nation is the foremost thing. How can you question them for leaving a league, T20 league? It's just a T20 league.
I would agree, Saurabh. I would agree with their opinions. Had the IPL schedule been announced before the World Cup schedule was announced and everything was set. Okay, the IPL final will happen on 26th and the World Cup will start 10 days later. Then had they pulled out, then it would have looked bad. At the end of the day, it's between the franchise and the player, right?
Absolutely.
It's nothing to talk about the league. If the franchise says, there were reports that CSK tried to convince Mustafizur to stay.
Yes.
But it didn't work out. And Mustafizur left. And so IPL schedule, when was it announced? There was a lot of delay in announcing it because of the Lok Sabha elections. India wanted to host it in India. They did not want to have another leg overseas. So the IPL schedule came very late.
Yes.
The England players or any
it came in two parts.
In two parts. When the first part was on, they released the schedule for the second part, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So in that case, how will a player who registered for auction in December know that this would happen?
Announced late.
Right?
And even in that case,
this is unnecessary criticism. Sometimes criticism should be measured, is what I think.
Yes, absolutely.
And anybody who goes for national duty can't be questioned, right? Because some of our commentators are legendary cricketers. They prioritized national duty over anything else. And if someone else does it, shouldn't be a problem.
I agree with you when you question a certain Jason Roy who pulls out of the entire
Yes,
IPL.
yes.
He's not even playing for his national team.
Bid for the bid,
Yeah. He
uh,
comes for the
put your
auction.
name in the auction and then
He then
pull
pulls
out
out.
before the
He has
season.
done it 2-3 times. You criticize him
Yeah.
all you want.
Yeah.
But you can't criticize a Phil Salt,
Yeah.
a Will Jacks,
A Josh
a Josh Butler.
Yeah.
They have
Sam
given their
Curran.
all since till they were here.
Yeah.
And then they have their national duties.
Yeah.
For that matter, Josh Butler, I think his wife is pregnant.
Yeah.
They're expecting their second or third child.
Yeah.
So why will somebody prioritize your T20 league over their family and their national duty? Nobody
Yeah.
should do that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you will be proud to be called an England team, England captain, England player,
Yeah.
an Indian captain, Indian player.
Yeah.
Not a RCB player or a CSK player or a KKR
Exactly.
player. That is not your
That
identity.
is what Virat keeps saying, but you guys ignore it when he doesn't win IPL trophies.
No, I never said this.
Yeah.
RCB fans, no, MI fans, CSK fans will question Virat.
Yeah.
What have you done in life? And then these people will come out and can question Rohit, whatever. I mean, this is absolutely horrific.
Buffoonery.
A proper buffoonery. No
Okay.
other idea for
One
that.
last question to the both of you before we sign off.
Hmm.
If Stephen Fleming becomes India coach,
Hmm.
can Mahi become CSK's coach? Will the dynamics change? Is Mahi thinking about playing a couple more years? And just because Stephen is going to become the coach of India, and all this is just, I'm just putting out possible scenarios. Will it affect Mahi's decision to retire if Fleming becomes the coach?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Why? Because yes, Stephen Fleming is the head coach. He is the main man there, but so is MS Dhoni.
Yeah.
Okay. And MS Dhoni, he's the player right now, but still he takes all the decisions.
Hmm.
And I have heard CSK CEO talking, I have heard Michael Hussey talking. MS Dhoni keeps his cards very close.
Yeah.
He never reveals to other people what he wants to do.
Hmm.
So I don't think that his retirement plans are going to get affected by Stephen Fleming.
If and when he...
Yeah, because even if he's not retiring, he can still mentor that team.
Yeah.
He can still mentor them. And you already have a proper support staff to do that.
Hussey.
Mike Hussey, you have Eric Simmons. They
Dwayne
all have
Bravo.
worked with MS Dhoni for the past 10 years. Mike Hussey played under him.
Dwayne Bravo.
So they have a proper support staff. Yes, Stephen Fleming moving out will definitely affect their chances, but I don't think it would affect MS Dhoni's retirement call.
And MS Dhoni is someone who can be a player come mentor in the team. So he has that caliber.
Has that happened in IPL before?
Shane Warne was there.
Shane Warne was
did
there.
in the first season.
First season.
Yeah, and
He
won the
led
trophy.
them to the title win.
Yeah.
So why not MS Dhoni? Because he is already the mentor.
Yeah.
And he's not the mentor of CSK. He's mentor of every cricketer who comes and asks him things.
Yeah.
So we are accustomed to seeing this, and MS Dhoni, he can do anything. He's the MS Dhoni.
Great. And this is a very interesting phase. Like we have the T20 World Cup, we have the IPL playoffs, and the coach will be hired pretty soon. I think it's only right if we ask our audiences and listeners what they think, whether India should go in with a native coach or can they afford to bring back a foreign coach after what has happened over the last 2 decades. Thanks for tuning in. You can send your feedback on 8588966996. You could also email on pods@indiatoday.com. And if you're listening to this on Google Podcasts, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please do rate us. And like we always say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave your comments. We'll be happy to read them out and get your feedback. Thanks. Have a great weekend.